no way I make it through this show. There's zero chance I make it through this show. I should not even be doing this show right now. Let me do this. Let me do this. Oh, man.
Life like I'm staying late. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked
Sorry
for.
about that.
Great.
You guys
I'm
get
about to
settled.
go. Great. I'm about to go. Great. I'm about to go. Great. Get the fuck back. I'm about to go. Great.
When they come, and they will, they'll come for you.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Oh, I thought the beast had won it off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat. Concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion. Talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive. Talking reason for it, I got locomotives. Used to be on a revenge tip. On a stun on my ex in a France tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit. I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist. Try not to change but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one sign, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat-seeking missiles of hits, but other than me, I see no heat exists. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green. Hulk smash if she know me. Ride it to life like I'm staying late. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Great. I'm about to go. Great. I'm about to go. Great. I'm about to go. Great. Get the fuck back. I'm about to go. Great. I might begin making a feature a rap. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game. Not a word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name. Saw it ahead of time, knew that I'd get to my losing myself in the view to some window pane. I swear I'm all about peace, I'm a positive person. Wasn't always like that, you know it took me some learning. They asked me how I push a positive light, how I keep my composure through internal fights. When addressing the mic through these dark nights. Where the Bruce Wayne, what a trick me. Here's some truth that I'll let free. Bruce Banner of rap if you ask me. When my will to win and the track meet, the secret is I'm always angry. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green. Hulk smash if she know me. Ride it to life like I'm staying late. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Great.
What up, y'all? What up? How's everybody doing tonight? TGIF, thank God it's Friday. I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Sorry for the long-awaited pause. We are here for the PAC12 Friday show. Thank you guys for being here. My camera's in the wrong spot. We had a long night. Sorry about that. And we also have a live stream to watch tonight. I'll be doing the show. I think we're going to start with Wisconsin and Purdue. But let me get into all that. I just want to give a special shout out to the wonderful Kim Jones sitting here. She made me an amazing dinner. This is what she does, bro. She throws down in the kitchen. I never have to step foot into that place. All you got to do is find the right woman, provide her with a huge kitchen, give her all the right ingredients, and she'll make greatness. If you can't relate, your life sucks, bro. Don't know what to tell you. Nonetheless, let's go over here and let's talk about these games. We'll get right into the thick of it. First thing I want to talk about is last night. MVPs, you came through. Rico Knows came through. Shout out to me in the third person. I told you Georgia State was going to win this game. I told you that we're going to cover the spread. Granger, over 42 yards rushing. Give me the single team. They were going to score over 27.5 points. We hit on all three, bruh. The haters are sick. They're wondering where their girl's at. They're struggling through life. Don't worry, bro. She's never coming back. She's not texting you back. She's not busy. She didn't forget about you. She blocked you, bro. Those text messages are going to deaf ears. They're just going out there in space. We feel really good right now. Feeling like $1 million. Shout out to all the MVPs who pulled the trigger on that. Tonight's slate of games. If we look at tonight's slate of games, we got Wisconsin at Purdue. Get excited. I want to watch that game. I want to see if Wisconsin can do what they do. And on Purdue's side of the ball, they have a guy on defense, true freshman, that all of you need to see. His last name is Thieneman. Go watch Thieneman. He's the safety. White dude, starting true freshman, looks like an NFL football player from one. He's leading the entire team in tackles. It's never good when a safety's leading the team in tackles. Let me tell you, in high school, we were playing this team. Shout out to Cat City, Cathedral City. And I think I had 23 tackles in a game. School record, 23 tackles in a game. The problem is I was playing free safety. You can't have your free safety with 23 tackles. Purdue, their secondary is leading them in tackles. That's terrible. They need to do something up front. Stop this, get some linebacker play. But they'll be good in the future. They have an amazing head coach in Ryan Walters, the former defensive coordinator out of Illinois. I like what Purdue's doing, but they look to be in a dogfight tonight, and I think Wisconsin is a better team, unfortunately. But Purdue, they've scored every game. Hudson Card's good for 14 points. NC State and Virginia. Everybody's telling me NC State's going to blow out Virginia. I feel like Virginia's terrible. They're not that terrible, though. And NC State's not that good. I think it can be a low-scoring game. I really do. I think it can be out there and be a stalemate. These teams suck. Covering a 9.5-point spread seems a bit far-fetched for NC State. I don't give any recommendations of betting on this game whatsoever. Notice the first two, I wouldn't even put a bet on it. The next game, Boise State, San Diego State, that's MVP data. Shout out to all the MVPs who know how I feel about this game. Just posted the video before we went live. We'll leave it at that. Air Force at San Jose State. Air Force is the best team nobody talks about. Remember, they blew out Baylor in the bowl game last year. They've been dominant every game that they've played. They beat a tough Sam Houston team. That Sam Houston team lost to BYU 14-0. They lost to Air Force 13-3. Like, it's a tough game, bro. Air Force is clutch. They kill possessions, and San Jose State's not a bad team. They've just played some really tough opponents. Playing USC and Washington, and they try to tell me San Jose State's got the 11th hardest schedule in America. No, bro, it's number one. They played the best two teams in America. You guys don't know what you're talking about. So shout out to them. Now we're going to talk about something a little interesting here, and that's Arizona State and who they're going to start at quarterback. My computer's not responding to me. There we go. Arizona State's going to start Drew Pine at quarterback because they have nobody else. So Rashada's hurt, Trenton Borgett's hurt, and they got Drew Pine left. After Drew Pine, it's Jacob Covington? Jacob Conover, my bad. Jacob Conover, the transfer from BYU. These are high school stars. Well, Conover's a high school star from Arizona. But here you got to work your magic. Drew Pine, Notre Dame transfer, not very good, playing against USC. Hey, guys, whatever that spread is, just give it to USC and take it, bro. USC's beating the brakes off these guys by 30, easy. It's not going to be close. USC's going to hurt these dudes. Just remember that. That's a fact. Going over the Mountain West games, we got 2 tonight. Get excited for them. They don't start till 10:30. I hope you plan on being awake till 1 in the morning. It's Friday night. I hope you plan on watching football till 1 in the morning. I'll be live streaming. I will be live streaming these games. One of them. Hopefully I'll be live streaming the Boise State-San Diego State game, and I'm cheering for what I think is going to be the result. That'll be incredible. But on Saturday, you've got New Mexico against UMass. These are two teams that really use the transfer portal to improve their teams. I'm excited to see what what New Mexico State can do on offense, traveling all the way up to UMass. UMass has an improved defense. These teams are very underwhelming. I wouldn't bet this game at all. I'm interested in Colorado State against Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee looked great against Missouri, but they looked terrible against Alabama. Who doesn't? Colorado State can actually score and move the ball, and now we know their loss against Washington State at the beginning of the season wasn't a bad loss. It's a good team. It's a top 25 team. And if you're tracking this, Colorado State has played 2 top 25 teams, right? And they played them pretty damn good. They put up some points. Wyoming and App State, I'm sure everybody's interested in how that's going to turn out because Wyoming's looks solid. Beating Texas Tech, playing Texas tough for 3 quarters. Wyoming looks like a good team in the Mountain West. We're going to find out more about them and what they're doing. They're very deep, guys. They have a guy, Harrison Wally. Harrison Wally was the leading rusher at Northern Illinois maybe last year and the year before. And he transferred to Wyoming to go be their marquee back. Remember, Titus Swin was their starting running back last year, got kicked off the team, so he just entered the NFL draft, didn't get drafted, got drafted in the XFL draft. I think he's trying out for the XFL here shortly. But Wyoming's had amazing running backs. Xavier Valade, my bad, transferring to Arizona State. He came from Wyoming as well. Titus Swin comes from Wyoming. And now you have Harrison Whaley transferring. And guess what? He doesn't get the starting job. As good as he is, he doesn't get the starting job. That's how good the running backs are at Wyoming. Now, Wyoming did have a lot of good transfers. One of their best defensive linemen, he transferred to Oregon State. Pregnon, one of their best offensive linemen, transferred. They had another 4-star kid who never really panned out, kid from Nebraska. He transferred. It's just, Wyoming's got good talent, man. They're sneaky good up there. Nobody's paying attention. App State, I look at them and all I see is Nate Noel all day long. Aguilar won over the quarterback position, and that's rare, but it happened. And then you've got Nevada and Texas State. And I know a lot of people think Texas State's blowing these guys out. I want to tell you guys, I feel like the over's in play on this game. I really do, because Nevada actually scored a lot of points against Kansas. It was 34-28 or 27-34, one of the two. And Nevada, they looked terrible to start the season, but it's just because they played USC. That's what made them look bad. And they did get beat by Idaho. Idaho's a good team, but they got beat by Idaho really handedly, but they looked sharp against Kansas. It was incredible what they did against Kansas. So Texas State looks like world beaters. I love Texas State and what they did. Shout out to G.J. Kennedy. He knows how to score. But I just feel like Nevada's got the pieces to score. They got a running back in Sean Dollars, former modern-day running back, transfer from Oregon. They got, I don't like Lewis at quarterback. That's the Colorado transfer, Brandon Lewis. But trust me, man, Nevada scores some points. Interesting game. James Madison's better than Utah State, point blank, period. UNLV, UTEP, that's MVP material. Fresno State, Kent State, MVP material. And then New Mexico State at Hawaii. I hope for New Mexico State they play well. They go out there and they show off well. But at the same time, I'm pulling for Timmy Chang to get a win out there. That's how I feel about the game. Next tab. Colorado at Oregon, that's some MVP data. I'll be sharing with them. I'll be going in-depth with them in the morning first thing when I make my Colorado-Oregon video. I have not made the video other than to tell the MVPs what I think is going to happen in the game. I want to go in-depth with them and explain some things. UCLA, Utah, MVP data. Oregon State, Washington State. Looks like a showdown of two amazing programs. I'm really excited for it. Oregon State going on the road. They're very dominant. Washington State, very fancy. Not as dominant, just kind of one's like going to punch you in the throat, and the other one's going to throw a bunch of outside kicks is how I feel. Like, Washington State's a great passing team. They're not running in between the tackles, and Oregon State's just going to smash you in between them tackles. Pause. Pretty excited to see what happens here. I think the team who plays the best defense wins the game, not offense. I think their offenses will roll. I like Arizona and Stanford as a game. It's fun to watch, but that's MVP data. USC, Arizona State, MVP data. And then Cal at Washington. Washington keeps rolling, guys. Take the over, take the points, whatever. Washington's offense is unstoppable. They got everything in place, but California is way better than some people think. Defensively, they're better than some people think. They really took it to Auburn. Even though they lost, they really took it to Auburn. I like Cal, but, I'll give you guys individual rundowns on these games as we go. Shout out to everybody for being here. Sorry for skimming so fast. Let me look at these spreads again for tonight. Let me hit refresh. Wisconsin and Purdue, like I said, I like a lot of things about this game. But I wouldn't bet it. It's just something to learn about. I know nothing about Harvard and Brown. I don't watch FCS football during the season. I don't watch FCS football, only outside of it. Virginia, NC State, like I said, that line dropped. It went to 7.5 from 9.5. So looks like it's shrinking. That means people are putting their money on Virginia, just so we're clear. Boise State, San Diego State, MVP data. Air Force, San Jose State, like I said, Air Force, 5.5-point favorite. So it's a bit much. 45.5 looks intriguing over there if you guys are interested. The rest of the games are for Saturday. Am I right? Are they for Saturday? What's going on? Virginia Tech Marshall play tonight? That can't be right. Am I tripping? Do the times go on the bottom? No, the times go on the bottom. Okay, we're good. I'm like, what the heck? Times are on the bottom. All right, enough of that. Let's take your guys' questions, get over to chat. Shout out to everybody watching us on TikTok. There's over 100 of you over there. It's pretty simple. I don't read your comments. Don't take your questions. Don't even see you. I don't look down here at the chat at all. If you want to join us, you can go up here, click the link, click on YouTube. There's a link up here in my bio for YouTube. You can go ahead and you can join the MVP, or you can just join us regular. We're on the show over here. We got 100 people over here I care about. I get paid for my live streams off YouTube, not TikTok. TikTok doesn't pay me anything, so I don't talk to you guys. I'm just here so you guys can look at me. That's fine. But you can't see the graphics on the screen or have a conversation with me. Have a blessed day. All right. Shout out to everybody who's here. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. This looks like a good day for me, bro. How many MVPs do we have going into the weekend? This is insane. This looks awesome. I'm going to get a pen and paper. I like to keep tabs on every show and see how many we get in one show. Remember, we had a hater yesterday say, hey, Rico, you did not get that many MVPs in one day. You tell me, bro. Yesterday, we showed the number. Let's keep going. Shout out to Stacks, man, for becoming an MVP. Good luck with all the data. Remember, MVPs, do not write me and tell me I need to give you a document. Do not write me and tell me I need to make a Discord and this, that, or the other. Listen, pretty simple. I'm using YouTube to track who's paid and who hasn't. I will not be keeping track of that myself. YouTube will give you access to the videos or not. I'm not going to run a whole damn Discord and keep track of pay logs and email addresses and all this shit. I don't want your Snapchat or your Instagram or your DM, your PayPal, your Zelle. I don't want none of that. Pay YouTube, get access to the videos, and that's it. I'm not dealing with you personally. If you start writing me and giving me recommendations on what I need to do, I'm just going to ignore you. You don't tell me what I need to do. You're giving me $25 for my data, not $25 to own me and dictate what I do for a living, bro. Everybody needs to calm down. It's not that big of an exchange. It's you giving me, it's $5 a week and a $5 tip. Get out of here. You're not going to sit there and hold me hostage for $5 a week. Carry on. I'll lose zero sleep over it. Congratulations, Stack Man. Shout out to Trey Darian Walker, a new MVP. Congratulations. DeMontre, what up, man? Appreciate it. Good looking. Make sure you guys catch the MVP playlist. Go watch all the videos from earlier in the week and learn as much as you can about these games. Ashton, if you don't want to watch the videos, one guy said, Rico, I don't have time to watch all these videos. Then you don't care about your money. You'll be all right. Shout out to Ashton Montgomery, new MVP. Man, we got all these MVPs. Moises Espinoza, you're an MVP. Congratulations. Nate Steven, MVP. Congratulations, bruh. Can you remember that first guy who was like, man, if Rico gets 10 of these guys, he's going to make an extra. Dude, shut up. Stop counting my pockets, bro. Marcelo McDade, MVP. Congratulations. Tyler Justice, MVP. Congratulations. You spelled justice crazy, though. Shout out to Corey Flores for the super chat. Corey Flores says, what's good, Rico? Hope you and everybody's having an amazing day. Thank you so much, Corey Flores. You make my life possible. I see you here every day, bruh. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to Connor. Connor's up in here. He's saying, yo, 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 yo. Hey, you sound like Busta Rhymes. D. Till says, is that Darren Till? Darren Till, what's up, man? When are we scrapping? Who do you think will win, Oregon or Colorado? Darren Till, that is an MVP level question. I will not put that out here in the open. Chelsea Franklin, MVP. Congratulations. Do you think Deion Sanders is currently the number one coach in college football? No, D. Till, I do not at all. I think you guys are misunderstanding what's occurring. He's doing great at Colorado. He's doing great things. But the number one coach in college football? Are we kidding? Lincoln Riley's undefeated with a Heisman Trophy winner, flipped the team from 4 wins to 12. Like, what are we doing? There are other teams out there. Kirby Smart has back-to-back national championships. How is he going to lose out to a guy who's 3-0 when Kirby's got the same record? There's no way Deion Sanders is currently the number one coach in college football. He's not even top 10. That is an absurd question. There's a guy not even coaching that has better accolades. Like, I don't know what you guys do, bro. If you won 3 games and that makes you the number one coach in college football, then what the hell are we doing? Because Georgia State's 4-0. Right? There's 3-0, 4-0 teams all across America. Have they won a game you didn't expect them to win? Because for me, Colorado has not won a game that I didn't expect them to win. I expected Colorado to win the first 2 games. I told you guys this. I went out here and put it out there. I expected them to win all 3 games. Colorado is 3-0 like I expected them to be. Does that make you the number one coach in college football? Hell no, Darren Till, that does not. Shout out to the Solus fan. You're an MVP. Darren Till says, hey, Rico, as a coach, do you think Deion Sanders should be ranked higher than Luke Fickell? No, not at all. Where are you coming up with this, Till? This is the 3rd question in a row. You just sound crazy. How is Deion Sanders higher? Luke Fickell has coached in the playoffs. Luke Fickell has coached an undefeated team. He just earned his way to the Power 5 by winning for how many years at Cincinnati? What are we doing? You just giving out shit? You just moving people to the top? Darren Till, you make me feel, D. Till, you make me feel like you think Patrick Mahomes is a top 5 quarterback all time. That's how it makes me feel. Even worse, bro. You think C.J. Stroud. Is C.J. Stroud a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? He just won. He just won a game. He looked great. That's what you sound like. David in Arizona. Good afternoon, Rico. Do you know anything about Arizona? Tyler Manoa, he has come out of nowhere, 7 tackles, 1 sack. Yeah, I know that he's playing really well, David in Arizona. He didn't come out of nowhere. He's been on the roster, but I'm just saying, I know he's playing really well. Congratulations to him. At the same time, I wonder about Arizona's defense as a whole. I wonder if any of those guys can really play football. I really do. No knock on them. It's just when I look at their team, nobody sticks out to me on defense. I feel like they're a liability. Their offense is so great, household names everywhere, and then the defense is kind of like, man, what is this? I don't like it. D. Till, hit, join, and become an MVP. Shout out to David in Arizona. He knows the deal. D. Till's just going to come in here and write some craziness, bro. J2 to B. J2 to B. Rico. So saw a video of Travis Hunter already back in full pads at practice. Think he makes a quicker comeback than what is expected. Last I heard was 3 weeks. So I haven't tried to assess his comeback time frame. More power to him. I hope the young man is healthy. I hope he doesn't overvalue some of these games and try to come back sooner. We know what he is. We know who he is. He doesn't need to prove anything to us or himself. He should just relax, come back when he's ready. That's the reality. Don't jeopardize yourself, especially internally. Charles Marshall, can you compare Joe Burrow's Heisman stats after week 3 to Shador's and tell me what you think? Charles Marshall, I'm not going to pull them up and tell you what I think. It doesn't really matter to me what I think. Stats are a product of what system you're in. Stats are a product of your opponents, right? I can go to stats right now, and if I go to stats and I go seasonal leaders, when you look at this, is Gage Larvadain the best receiver in the country? Just because he has the most receiving yards? No. There's no point. You know what you want to compare Joe Burrow and Shador Sanders? You know when you want to compare them? At the end of the season, and it's not about their stats. Compare their records. One guy's going to be undefeated, and one guy's going to be Shador Sanders. Okay? That's the difference. You got to win games if you want to be a Heisman. You got to win games. You can have equivalent stats to a ton of guys. There's people with better stats. Don't repeat your questions. Thank you, J to the B. Kamani Ross, yo, what's up, Rico? I haven't soon LMC play a lot for Arizona. What's going on? No, he had a good game the other day. And he's talking about Lamonius Craig. He had a decent game. J2 to B, that video probably old. Yeah, another thing, Ross, is what people don't understand is just because you were a good player at one school doesn't mean you're in the 2 deep at the next school, right? Jordan Tyson transferred to Arizona State. Haven't seen him on the field at all. It happens. Kamani Ross, do you think some of these transfers beat themselves up when they go to a new school and they don't get as much playing time as expected and fall off? No, Kamani Ross, I think that they were sold a raw bag of goods. I'll tell you that right now. This is happening all over the Pac-12. It happened with Colin Schley at quarterback at UCLA. It's happened with a few Colorado guys. It happens with guys at Oregon and anywhere. You, as a coach, are trying to get the best 11 players in your room, right? You're trying to get the best 85 on your team. So when you hit the transfer portal, you're looking at their tape, maybe their old high school huddle tape. You're looking at their college tape, their practice film, whatever they give you. And you're trying to determine whether or not that player can contribute to you. And they're offering all these kids, and then they get on campus, and they line them up against some of their own players, and they go, hey, hold up now. That guy's not better than what we have. They thought they were, but they're not. There are some cases. I made a video, and in my old video, I said, these are the 5 guys who aren't going to amount to anything at their new school, transfer-wise. And 2 of them are in the Pac-12. One of them was Colin Schley. He hasn't played much at all, and he won't. The Kent State quarterback transferred to UCLA for whatever reason. I'll never know. And then the other one was Jacob Conover, transferring to Arizona State from BYU. The dude's 4th string. I said, these guys are never going to play. I don't know what they're doing. And it's happening to a lot of people. It's happening right now to Sean Tyler at Minnesota. Back-to-back 1,000-yard rusher. Now he's backing up a freshman. You were at Western Michigan. You could have been doing 1,000 yards at Western Michigan. Instead, you're at Minnesota, and you're backing up a true freshman. It just happens. You're not ready to compete. You're not good enough. And sometimes these guys who were transferring for playing time, they're finding out the hard way. If you transferred for NIL and playing time, you're finding out the hard. Now, there's some studs who transferred because they were all conference and they want to go to the NFL and they want to go higher, and you see those guys balling out, no problem. But there's a few that went for playing time, and they're not getting it. Well, you weren't getting it at your old school either because you weren't that good to begin with, right? That's how that goes. Did I give Matt G a tag? I did not give Matt G a dash mark. I did Solus fam for sure. Matt G, MVP, congratulations. I believe that's the 11th one. Can we go back and count this? I will. 1, give me a second, guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're at 11 with Matt G. Congratulations being an MVP. Trent says, can you talk about Alton McCaskill's background and how you see him contributing to the Colorado offense? His film from Houston looks very good. Do you see him rotating with Edwards somewhat evenly? So, Trent, asking about Alton McCaskill IV. If you guys don't know, Alton McCaskill IV, former running back at Houston, freshman year, true freshman, he rushes for over 900 yards, 16 touchdowns, dominant in the American. Really was. All conference, all this stuff. He's an amazing running back. And then he tore his ACL last year, so he didn't play. In recovery, jumps in the transfer portal, took visits to Florida, took visits to Arizona State, and then went with Colorado. I think Alton McCaskill IV is a great running back, a marquee running back. He's just not 100% healthy. I don't think he goes and gets even splits with Donovan Edwards right away. I said Donovan Edwards? I don't think he gets even splits with Edwards right now. I feel like he's going to get some spare playing time. Maybe not even this game. Maybe it's just for the USC game in 2 weeks. I don't know if he's that healthy right now. I don't know if I can give him the workload. I could write him. He does follow the channel. So shout out to him. What up, Peas? Peas just became an MVP. Congratulations to Peas. Yes, sir. Rico, what up? On Deck Gaming. Jay Lou, shout out to all the MVPs. I hope you have a profitable weekend. Yes. Hope you guys pick the right games. You know, we're going to miss on 22%. We're going to miss on 29%. I hope you guys hit on what you do. Willie Bobo says, welcome to all the MVPs. Rico Knows. Show is in full effect, yo. Javon Antonio reportedly back this week. Well, I hope he's back and healthy. I know you've talked about him before, but what did you think about his impact in the TCU game and his impact going forward? So I didn't think he had much of an impact in the TCU game, Evan. I think as a grown man, like he's 6'4", 220, and he's a problem out there matchup-wise, right? But he does not have breakaway speed. He doesn't create separation. And I think teams know this. They're not threatened by his speed. So when they see him on the field, they put a corner right in his face, and they just start jamming him. And they're putting a bigger, stronger kid, maybe somebody over 6 feet tall, just strong enough to run with him and stay with him. And I haven't seen him get open. Had not much separation. So it's not working out for Antonio. I hope it does. Hope he runs into some zone coverage that he can manipulate. And obviously, Shedeur Sanders' arm can get it done. Ash, please calm down. Please. Thank you. Good afternoon, Rico. What up, Breaking? What up, Elite? YNG Elite says, why has Wisconsin been going away from Braylon Allen? And how long do you think this continues? You know, this is crazy. I think Phil Longo, the new offensive coordinator for Wisconsin, doesn't know how to use a marquee back. Remember, he was the offensive coordinator at North Carolina last year, and the leading rusher at North Carolina last year was Drake May. Like, your quarterback was your leading rusher at North Carolina. North Carolina, Omarion Hampton just rushed for 234 yards 2 weeks ago. He was on the team last year. You got a running back capable of rushing for 200 yards in a game, and you don't use him because you want to use your quarterback for design draws and runs and all this. I look at Wisconsin, and I don't think they know how to use a running back primarily for what he is. At the same time, when Cincinnati, Luke Fickell was the head coach at Cincinnati, he never once had a marquee back that he just fed the rock to 300 times in a year, right? Braylon Allen is the type of running back you got to give him 30 carries, 20 carries to warm up and another 20 to break you, and they're not doing that. They're giving carries to Chaz Malusi, or whatever his name is, the transfer from Clemson, and they shouldn't be splitting carries. Braylon Allen is a grown man. He doesn't need the break. Use him for what he is. I understand you're trying to save his legs for the NFL, but if we're just trying to win games and we're at a college level, I'm using all my athletes however I need to, and I would be running the ball with Braylon Allen all day. Phil Longo, as an offense coordinator, does not know how to utilize a running back that needs 30 carries a game to get the ball rolling. It's bad. J2 to B, MVP. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to all the haters. You make show. Hey, shout out to you, Bobo. Sorry that it's not Pac-12, but I know they play today. If not, I'll ask later in the live stream. Yeah, my bad. I forgot it's Pac-12. I answered anyways. Yes, sir, Rico. We got paid last night. What up, Jimmy Falk? Yes, we did. I woke up to a good payday. Rico killed it for me last night with Georgia State. I hit my 5-team parlay. MVP is where it's at. Shout out to you, Kobe Meyer. You know, all the TikTok haters, they don't even know that you MVPs exist. They don't have a clue. They think I'm making it up. They think everybody hates me and I miss all day. But for some reason, my MVPs are feeling pretty damn good about themselves this morning. Good day, sir. When Coach Prime goes to a bowl this year, do you believe a number of offense and defensive lineman players will go to Colorado with the scouts and TV come? No. It's not how it works, Boss Omar. So, first and foremost, bowl games are played after the National Letter of Intent Day. So going to a bowl game has nothing to do with National Letter of Intent Day. National Letter of Intent Day from high school recruits comes out before that. So you need commitments before that. They're doing fine right now with the winning that they're doing. That will attract linemen. Another thing that will attract linemen is getting linemen to the NFL. If you have pro pedigree, they will get there. They will enjoy it. That's what they're about. And then lastly, doing terrible on the field attracts transfers. Not doing good. Good teams don't get great transfers from the transfer portal. Bad teams do. The teams that got the best transfer portal classes this last year were teams that needed transformation. So when you see players enter the transfer portal, guys who want more playing time, guys that are attracted to your team, they're going to losing programs because they can get more playing time there, or because they just got a new coach, right? Most losing teams fire their coach and got a new coach. And whenever you have a new coach, that's new, I don't know, what's the word, optimism? So you're not going to, just because you made it to a bowl game doesn't equate to a better transfer portal class or recruiting class. If you want an example of that, look at TCU. TCU made it to the national championship game. That did not impact their recruiting rankings by any means. It did not impact their transfer portal additions by any means. Going to the national championship did not help them at all. If you win it, the next year it will help your recruiting. It's a very slow and long process. It is not that knee-jerk reaction you're all thinking, oh, man, if you get to a bowl game, that's going to really impress people. No. What's going to impress people is you winning games right now and getting players to the NFL. Trust. Shout out to John Meriden being an MVP. Congratulations. Alex, Oregon 100, Colorado 14. Shout out to Alex for not knowing the score. What up, Mateo? Mateo's out here barking because Ash is barking. King Jack just became an MVP. Congratulations. Y'all boys crazy if y'all don't cop the MVP. We really winning. It's okay. They don't know. Did I miss Colorado, Oregon already? It's an MVP discussion. I will not be having it out in public. Jimmy becoming a member is getting the MVP. Becoming a member, you have to hit join, and you have to pick MVP. It's $25 a month. Not yet a teasy. Jimmy Falk says, yeah, it's worth it, brother. Don't shoot the messenger. Rico, what do you think it will take for Colorado to beat Oregon? The chance to play them. They're playing this weekend. They have a chance. They're playing. That's all it takes. How did you know Buddy Tevens? How did I know Buddy Tevens? I don't know what you mean. I don't know him personally. UNLV is looking nice versus UTEP. That's an MVP conversation. Don't you think Penix is a little overrated? He has a great offense, great wide receivers, and he's 37 years old. So, Maddie, when everybody talks about quarterbacks being a certain age, it's a new age thing. Nobody ever talked about this before, and I want to make this clear. Quarterbacks play longer than everybody. So the fact that a quarterback is 21 versus 24 means absolutely nothing. It really does. Running backs, it makes sense. You want to be concerned about it. But quarterbacks, they're going to play till they're 35 if they're any good. So all that matters is whether or not that quarterback's good. Period. Everybody who thinks that they're going to become exponentially better because they're so young, that doesn't really... There's no math to support that. There's no data to support that. The best quarterbacks in the league are over 30 years old because they're successful and have been around that long. That's just how it goes. It's how it's been for the last 20, 30 years. People sitting around going, oh, no, he's 22, so he's not going to be as good as this 19-year-old. Like, this is not basketball. This is not basketball. I don't care how old Penix is. He's better than a lot of other quarterbacks in the country. Not overrated. He's rated right where he belongs. Devin Serrano says, nah, I've been keeping up with him for like 2 weeks now. I F with the content. I feel you. Big Rico, what up, GFT? Rico, I'm loving North Carolina's spread. How do you feel on it? Cameron Vasquez, that's an MVP conversation. It's already been discussed. I know you're an MVP, Cameron. Go back and watch the MVP locks videos. The playlist is there. Start watching from the beginning from this week. Look for week 4 in the title and watch all the videos. Hey, I'm new. How do I sign up for MVP? Well, it all depends. Are you using an iPhone? If you're using an iPhone, don't try to use the iPhone or the YouTube app. You can use the YouTube app after you sign up, but not initially. It doesn't show up. It doesn't populate. The best way I can tell you to do it is if you're following me on TikTok, just go to my TikTok home profile page, click on the link that the YouTube URL. Don't click on the YouTube TV button. Click on the YouTube URL. It'll take you to the home page. You're there. Other than that, use an Android device, a laptop, a desktop, or use Safari web browser. Do not use the app. It won't show up. Just hit join and you're good. Devin, my 3-leg parlay hit last night. Shout out to you, Jimmy Falk. Rico, my G, what up, Black Moans? I know this is not a Pac-12 or Mountain West question, but top 3 best atmospheres at college games. I don't know. I don't go to college games. I don't know who's the top 3 atmospheres at college games. Probably my living room, my bathroom, and my bedroom. Those are the best 3 atmospheres for the college weekend for sure, as far as I'm concerned. I know this is not, thank you very much. Georgia State spread, points under hit, Georgia State quarterback rushing yards hit for my over. There you go. Pat Spratt, what do you think about Jayhawks, Rico? I think the Jayhawks are not in the Pac-12 or Mountain West. That's who I'm talking about today. Rico, do you think Colorado will run more RPO this week? Tom Rose, I think they're going to have to go with what works, and I don't think RPO is probably the solution to beating Oregon. I just don't, just so we're clear. Penn State versus Iowa is not a Pac-12 game. Go back and watch Tuesday's show about the Big Ten, and you'll find it there. Oregon, going to put it on Colorado. Shout out to you, Caleb. Congratulations. No, they ain't, bro. You guys are arguing. MVP in the building. What up? What up, Mr. One Deck Videos? Or, I'm Matt. My bad. Mr. On Deck Videos. I appreciate you. What up, Corey Flores? Again, I appreciate you. Start Burrow or Geno Smith. Burrow's not playing. Start Geno Smith. You the boss. Appreciate you. TCU bad. Colorado State put 40 on Colorado, bro. Oregon by 70. Caleb Christian. Brace yourself, bro. You're going to be wrong in 4K. Daryl Paulson. Rico, you think Nate Johnson is a Power 5 starter? Not at all. If you guys don't know who Nate Johnson is, he is the starting quarterback for Utah right now due to injuries. I think Cam Rising's supposed to start this week, hopefully. Nate Johnson is not a Power 5 starter right now. He should not be under any circumstance. He's not good. He can't throw. He can run. He can't throw. What are your picks for tonight? Owen, rewind the show. Plot twist, Colorado wins by running game. Oh, that's a hell of a plot twist. Rico, was wondering if you've heard about Kerry Taylor, a former NFL player who's gotten fired from 3 high schools as a football head coach. Have not heard it. Devin Horn, not really heard it. Nope. What up, Hustle King? Shout out to you, brother. Good afternoon, Rico. What up, Official AD? Yo, where do I join for MVP? Rewind the show. I've already talked about it. Hey, Rico, I was wondering your thoughts on Brady Cook and his ceiling. He's not in the Pac-12. That's my thoughts. Unofficial lay for tonight. I don't know what that means. I'm not into gambling jargon. I don't know what lay means. I don't know. You want to get laid tonight? I don't know, Matt G. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. I want to be an MVP. Rewind the show. Learn how to do it. How many running yards do you think Colorado gets against Oregon? That's an MVP conversation. Is Colorado losing for real? I still have faith in Dion and the coaching staff. Well, please do. Jayhawks cover this week. Please don't talk about the Jayhawks. That was talked about on Wednesday. That's when I talk about the Big 12. You guys are on the wrong day. Decided to become an MVP. I'm not even a bettor, but I love the content and would much rather listen to you than the stupid analysts on TV. Worth the money for sure. J2 to B, I appreciate you. Hope you enjoy all the MVP content. Colorado plus 20.5 is free, so Colorado for the win. How do I become an MVP? Rewind the show. I've talked about it. All you got to do is hit join. You're not seeing the join button because you're using the YouTube app. Go use the web browser. Go use an Android device, a laptop, a desktop. If you can't do any of that, go to my TikTok. There's a link on the TikTok homepage. Please, guys. It's not hard. Everybody's figuring it out but you guys. It's weird. Calm fit. How do I become an MVP? I want to fill my pockets. I just talked about it. Rewind the show. Seth Wallace just became a minion. Shout out to Seth Wallace for supporting the channel. That matters just as much as an MVP to me. Minions will be around all year long. Wolfpack will be around all year long. MVPs are going to come and go. Some of them are toxic. I appreciate you, Seth Wallace. Shout out to you. Thanks for everything you do. You're the GOAT. Thank you, Jake Walsh. You're the GOAT. I love your guys' support. J2 to B, if you love football and just want to learn more to be more educated so you can talk circles around these casuals, become an MVP. Shout out to you, J2 to B. This is true. Nate Steven, what do you think Deion's plans are? Is he staying at Colorado 3, 5, or 10 years? Or could we see him in the NFL next couple of years, barring everything goes amazing for him? So I don't think Coach Prime brings any real value as a head coach in the NFL. That's also very nepotism-driven. It's very good old boy network-driven. I don't see that happening. I don't think Coach Prime is an NFL coach, personally. I think he inspires young men, though. I think he can lead and inspire young men. I think he can organize resources and win at the collegiate level. I think he's at Colorado for at least 3 years. He's going to lose a coordinator. Sean Lewis will get hired elsewhere. His son's obviously going to depart. Travis Hunter's going to depart. He's going to have to land on more recruits, but he's good for the next 2 years for sure. Rico, you were right. Jamil Muhammad is a stud. He's a beast coming off the edge. Thank you so much. I try my best. If you guys don't know, Jamil Muhammad is a transfer from Georgia State at USC, doing really well. He looks good, like an upgrade. Jake Walsh says, at Nate, I would think he goes to the SEC before anything. Maybe. Kim, Steven, you have to click the join button on the YouTube page. If you have an iPhone, you have to use Safari. A desktop, the app won't get you there. How do you become an MVP? Read the note that Kim just wrote. That's how you get there. Do not use the app until you become an MVP. Then you can use the app. Shout out to Jonathan C. for becoming an MVP. I appreciate you, Jonathan. How do I join? Follow the directions. If you have an iPhone, you got to use your Safari or go to the TikTok homepage. Click the link. Use an Android. Use a desktop. He's already said that. Doesn't want to coach people that already made it. Exactly. Go to the page and click join. Jimmy Falk's trying to explain it to y'all. Shout out to people are becoming MVPs every day, all day. Apparently they're figuring it out. Can you review the film of Malachi Trapp from DCHS? All film requests need to be sent in a DM, Adam. Send them a DM on TikTok. Send me a DM with the Huddle film or the kid's name, and wait patiently. It'll happen. Let's go. What up, Matt G? Is there a way for transfers to evaluate different programs and situations? Seem like coaches are using the portal to benchmark their roster, plus lock talent away from the competition. Dr. Drizzle, that's happened for years upon years. Now, it's up to these players to evaluate themselves. But you got to remember, these players, when they are at school, and they are at a school they don't want to be at, they do not jump in the portal until they know where they're going. Let me make that clear. 90% of the players jumping in the portal already know where they're going because they already had an agreement before they jumped in. And how do they get that agreement? Well, it's not tampering. They utilize a high school coach, an intermediate third-party intervention, whoever they can find to represent them, and that person starts shopping them around to other teams. So it's not like they're going in there and they're waiting to see who they hear from. There's very few people doing that. Those are the people stuck in the portal. If you get in the portal and you see the guys committed to a new school the next day, it didn't happen overnight. It's been figured out, okay? So the reason this is an issue, though, is let's say you were a 4-star wide receiver and you go to Ole Miss and you're sitting the bench because Lane Kiffin keeps bringing in other wide receivers that are much more accomplished than you, and you can't even make the 2 deep. You know what happens when you decide you want to reach out to your high school coach and your recruiting coordinator from high school or whoever, and you're like, hey, I need to find out who'd be interested in me if I jumped in the portal. The only thing they do is call all your old recruiters. So you were an SEC recruit and you signed with Ole Miss, but you picked Ole Miss over Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, A&M, and Florida. So you go from sitting on the bench at Ole Miss, you jump in the portal, and you commit to one of these other guys who recruited you out of high school because they're the only people you have relationships with. They're the only people you know. So you go from one bench to another bench. Shout out to Nick Evers. Shout out to a ton of guys who didn't assess their talent properly because you're only talking to the recruiters that you're used to talking to from high school. What you need to do is study rosters and depth charts and get the right guidance from the right people. That's how you end up starting at the right school, right? You don't just, like, I admire some of these guys who were on a bench somewhere and they said, yo, I'm going to roll out. Let me give you an example. All the guys who transferred to SMU, Rhett Lashley at SMU, the new head coach at SMU, Rhett Lashley, he was a former offensive coordinator at Miami. So when he got to SMU, who did he get? He got all these Miami kids. A lot different. Those kids are actually going to play at SMU. It's not like they jumped in the portal and went, yo, I'm leaving Miami. I'm going to Florida State. I'm going to Florida. I'm going, like, dude, be realistic. You weren't good enough to start here. You can't start over there. Oh, but coach said I could. No, you can't. And that's why, and that's why you can't stock the roster the way you used to. You can't stack the rosters the way you used to. You can't hoard all the talent the way you used to. Some coaches are still doing it, though, because the recruiters are comfortable with that kid. They already know that kid. It's crazy. Don't do it. I watched the kid transfer to Missouri, and I thought to myself, he's not going to play there. There's no way. And sure enough, he's not starting. Christian Gonzalez says, how do you join MVP? Christian, I hope you figured it out. Rewind the show. We've talked about it many times. Matthew Diano says, is Colorado covering? That's an MVP conversation. How do you feel about Taylor Green? I like Taylor Green, Bobby Albright. I made a video about it to the MVPs about 10 minutes ago. If you can go watch it, Bobby, and come on back to the show. I already talked about Boise State in depth. I don't want to talk about betting. Otherwise, Taylor Green's an alpha male. Taylor Green showed up to school from Texas, beat out Hank Bachmeier, and never looked back. He don't care. He's the starter. Pac-12 championship in Vegas this year. Who do you got? Should I buy my tickets? I don't got anybody. I don't try to guess who's going to conference championships. I take this whole season 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. I didn't even look at today's games until today. I don't try to predict the future, bro. I talk one at a time. Whoopty says, we back. What's good? What's good, Whoopty? I thought you said you made me an intro song. I ain't heard it yet. I can't find the join button on either the app or Safari. You can't use the app, and you can't use Safari. Try another way. Vegas Content Gap Central I would say go to TikTok and click the link on my homepage. It'll show up. Rico, look out for Hunter Waller tonight, Wisconsin safety 24. He'll be making plays. You know, you, Bobby Albright, you look out. You look out for my player. Let's go look at tackles. Let's see if we got – who's got the most tackles? I bet that everybody's got too many tackles. Damn. Let's go over here. Where's he at? 24. Give me 24 tackles. I know he's out here at 24. Apparently not. How many tackles he got? Man. Damn, I blew it. Maybe he's got more. There it is. Dylan Thieneman. 14th in the country in tackles. True freshman. Ahead of Jaheim Thomas, who I think is an amazing football player. How about Danny Stutzman down here? The guy with more tackles than all of them tonight, Dylan Thieneman, Purdue. There's Hunter Waller. He's in 9th. Dylan Thieneman. We got these two DBs looking great. Let's figure it out. Shout out to Wisconsin. Shout out to Purdue. They got some players. What you think about Virginia? They play in the ACC. I talked about them on Monday. Y'all hit that like button. Thank you so much. What's up, Rico? Tell me what you think about Rutgers and Michigan. Tyler Blackburn, tell me that you weren't here on Tuesday when I talk about Rutgers and Michigan. My bias makes me lean Virginia, but don't make a play off that. Okay, we won't. T. Jones, shout out to you, MVP. Kendall Dixon, shout out MVP. Vegas, you can get it. Yep, appreciate you guys. Gap Channel, what exact link? Because that's how I started. Bruh, we can't have this conversation in front of 100-something people. I got 300 people in here. You want me to talk to you individually and walk you through it? This is crazy. Tyson Bass, MVP. Everybody's figuring it out. We'll be joining next weekend. I feel you, Christian. Hey, if you got to wait a weekend, that means your money's tight. You guys better stop, man. Stop gambling. Don't be joining MVP if you got to wait a week. If you got to wait till payday, I got dudes tell me, hey, Rico, on the 1st, I'm joining MVP. Dude, I don't want your money. MVPs, please be financially stable, bro. I need you to be there. I can't have you MVP one day and not the next. That's terrible. Get your priorities straight. Do you only do football? Frankie Cruz, I do track and field. I do MMA, but right now college football season's in full force. I don't do NFL. I do college football. Vegas content, you got to do it on the desktop or computer. Dr. Dizzle, MVP, what up, D? Shout out to you, bruh. Yo, Big Rico, proud to say I'm a new member of the MVP team. Let's be great. There you go, Peas. Pick the right ones, man. Pick the right locks. Go back and watch all the videos. Or use your web browser on your phone. You can't use the app. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Chat just jumped on me. Let me go back. The one that says YouTube/@Rico.no. Thank you so much, Kim Jones. She's letting you guys know. Colorado versus Oregon. Give me the details. Go Buffs. Peter Miller. That's a conversation for MVPs, and it hasn't even happened yet. Does Drew Pine save ASU and only lose by 28 this weekend? Aldo. That's an MVP conversation. Charles Homan. Congratulations, MVP. Andrew, MVP, congratulations. Thoughts on Ty Thompson at Oregon? Non-factor, Ty Thompson, non-factor, Christian, will not be significant. I don't even like talking about backup quarterbacks because they don't play, right? There's two position groups in college football that do not rotate. That's offensive lineman and quarterback. Everybody else you need to have depth for. You don't need to have depth at the quarterback position. If you don't have your starting quarterback, you're just done. 99% of teams ain't making it after that. Okay? You don't need depth at the quarterback position. Why? Offensive line, you need depth, but you're not playing the backups. The starters are there, man. They're not in there to rotate. Every other position group rotates like crazy. Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defensive linemen, linebackers, defensive backs. Everybody rotates. That's it. Somebody on TikTok just wrote, this is a whole stream about him saying, welcome to being an MVP. Hey, bruh, we're giving him shout-outs. That's what we're doing. That's how many MVPs there are for all the haters out there. Thoughts on Air Force versus San Jose State? Torres, Isaac. I like the game. I already gave my thoughts if you want to rewind it. I like Air Force as a team. I like San Jose State as a team. I hope it's a good game. That's it. I think they're both very good teams, and I hope it's a good game. Not much else to it. MVP, what up, Jared Harvey? Congratulations, man. Welcome to the show. Colorado State couldn't score 20 points all last season, but they already did it this season against two ranked teams. Do you think they can make the Mountain West Championship? No, Kang. Making the Mountain West Championship means you have to win games. They haven't won any games. I don't try to guess who's going to make championship games. I just take it every week as it goes. I like them. They're a good team. I don't try to guess who's going to be in the Mountain West Championship, though. Do you think Colorado State will be decent this year? Yes, Great Allen, I do. They look decent right now. Did you see Puka Nacua breakout coming? It's not necessarily a breakout. It's an opportunity, bro. Like, people don't understand what's happening. Puka would not be playing at all if Cooper Kupp wasn't hurt. There are players on the bench on every team that don't get to play, and they're better than you ever could imagine, but they don't get the opportunities. Once somebody gets hurt, now they get opportunities. That's not a breakout. That's NFL teams not recognizing the talent on their roster. Happens all the time. Just because somebody's getting the yards, though, and the stats and the reps and the targets doesn't mean they're better than the people not getting the targets. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Deron Bland is now going to be starting at corner for the Cowboys because Diggs got injured for the year. Is Deron Bland magically better than every single corner out there on the bench somewhere? No. He's now starting because he's getting an opportunity. And he'll get stats and he'll get to play. He made 5 interceptions last year. This guy's going to get to play due to an injury. But there's still somebody sitting on a bench who hasn't played a down who's potentially better. Right? Sam Howell's playing for Washington right now, but Kyle Trask could be better. We don't know. He never gets to play. It's a funny world where the NFL is. Funny world. Don't ever assume somebody who's getting all the reps and all the stuff is better. Like, Bryce Young is not one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the world. Bryce Young is not one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the NFL. He gets to start because he was drafted first overall. He didn't earn anything. He didn't beat anyone out. There wasn't tryouts, and they were like, hey, that guy looks good. Let's get him to start here. This is why Will Levis can't start. Because if he was drafted 4th overall, he would be starting. He wouldn't have had to earn it. He would just be starting. But the fact that he wasn't drafted at the beginning of the first round, he went into practice and had to earn it, and he can't earn it. He can't beat anyone out. We saw him. He couldn't beat out Sean Clifford, right? So people need to just understand what they're witnessing here. Shout out to Joseph Kidder. Welcome to MVP. Rico Knows headed straight to ESPN. I highly doubt I'm headed straight to ESPN. ESPN probably doesn't want me. I'm not into the alphabet. I'm just not, and I don't get down like that. I'm cut different. I'm not suitable for whatever agenda they're spewing. But there is some marketing companies out there that I think I fit really well with. There are some brands and some advertising that I think I fit really aligned with, and we'll figure that out over the next year, for sure. Until then, we'll remain independent. Got an accountant and everything. We're all right. Alec Gregson says, shout out to Georgia State and Granger. Absolutely cooked those Roosters. Shout out to you. You and Pat at the same desk, I'd pay to see that. Thank you, Soul Sovereign. These people don't know about me, man. Oregon State money line over Wazoo with a question mark. That sounds like a coin flip worth flipping. More power to you. I don't even mess with coin flips, guys. And I'm not one of, when the guys, I see that all the time. They give you money line bets in the NFL and they say this is going to happen. It's all just, they're just filling it out. They're like, yeah, this sounds good. I don't do that ever. If I don't feel a certain type of way about it, I don't talk about it. I just say, hey, don't bet that game. You don't have to bet them all. I wouldn't bet that game at all. I don't get the appeal behind picking a 50-50 shot. Like when somebody says, Rico, talked about Notre Dame, Ohio State. Well, the clear answer there is there is no clear winner there. You don't know who's going to win that game. So what are we talking about? You're just flipping a quarter, hoping for the best? That sounds ridiculous. Can the Dion Shador dynamic even exist in the NFL or too much of a distraction? You think Dion's going to coach his son? I don't understand what you're saying, Ryan T. It's not a distraction to me. Vegas content gap figured it out. This man became an MVP. Hey, congratulations, brother. Thank you for joining the team. There you go. You got it, man. You're a beast. You think Lincoln rides out Williams, then leaves again in the middle of the night to Arizona to coach him again? No, I don't think Lincoln Riley's an NFL coach. At least I would hope not. I don't want him to crash and burn like that. That's bad. I don't think he needs to leave in the middle of the night. He's got himself a gig on a team in the Big Ten. They're going to be relevant, play for national championships, be in the playoffs. I think it'll be a fun time to be a college coach once the playoffs expand. You got a dozen guys that can all now compete to win a national championship. It's pretty cool. 133 FBS coaches, only 5 have ever won a national championship in their career. Saban, Smart, Brown, Jimbo Fisher, and Dabo Swinney. Only 5 guys in their whole life out of everybody. Yeah, we're going to get that number up once everybody gets to compete. Who do you like for anytime touchdown in tonight's games? Oh, man. Wisconsin, Purdue, anytime touchdown. Obviously, you want to go Braylon Allen, but you could also go anytime touchdown scorer. Let's see who scores here. Oh, he's in negative 185. How about the 155, Deion Burks? Deion Burks, anytime touchdown. That one looks good. Don't pick Tyrone Tracy. He's a backup running back. Deion Burks, 3 receiving touchdowns this year. Looks like the only guy that's catching touchdowns from your boy Purdue. Yeah, that works. Deion Burks. What other one? NC State, Virginia. More wagers. Anytime touchdown. Brennan Armstrong plus 110, but he's got to run it. Oh, man. Concepcion. This doesn't look good. I would stay away from this game completely. I can't go anytime touchdown on those. Boise State, more wagers. Give me Taylor Green on this. But it's probably going to be, let's see if Taylor Green or Genty's here. Genty's minus 230. Oh, my goodness. Jalen might do it, but I doubt it. Man, he's got to go with Taylor Green. Expect him to keep it near the red zone. I would just go with that first guy, the first one. I can't go with the rest of these, man. You're tripping. Anytime touchdown. I'm looking for the pluses here. Yeah, you're most likely Nick Nash can do it too. That's a 200. He's a tall wide receiver in the red zone, but I don't know if San Jose State even does it like that. I'd say you're most likely Deion Burks, Hudson Card to Deion Burks, and just hope it happens. That's all I can tell you. Hudson Card to Deion Burks and hope it happens. That's what I would do. For plus 155, that's the most value. I'd probably do like whatever your units are. Do 2 of them and clap it up and be good. That's how I feel. Damien became a roughneck. Shout out to Damien for being a roughneck. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. Rico, what's up with Raleek Brown? Will he redshirt this season? Yeah, he's going to redshirt and probably transfer Robert McNeese. He's not good enough to be in the 2 deep. If you guys don't know, Raleek Brown is a stud running back, utility, weapon, whatever he is. But unfortunately for him, USC has just found other guys in the transfer portal, in recruiting, and Raleek Brown is probably 4th or 5th string right now, and I never saw that coming. I thought he was the 3rd best running back on the team. I thought he was going to be in the rotation, and now he just plays in throwaway time, and I think Raleek Brown is going to transfer and be a stud wherever he goes. I hope he goes to somewhere like Fresno State. I hope he picks a small school and just goes and crushes it. But I'd imagine there's going to be a lot of big schools interested in Raleek Brown. Schools like Colorado. Yeah, schools like Colorado and maybe a lot of the SEC schools. Raleek Brown's a very good player. Do you think Bo Nix is better NFL prospect than Shedeur? No, not necessarily. I've always said Shedeur's an NFL prospect. He's extremely accurate. I think they're both very good prospects. Any thoughts on Boise State versus San Diego State? That's an MVP conversation, Don Pla. I already made a video for my MVPs. Thank you. Need you to be honest here, Rico. Who are you taking tomorrow? Your boys at Colorado, or do they meet a match with Oregon? I'm from Colorado, so the native in me wants Colorado to come out on top, but I think Oregon will be too much. NTS boys, that is a conversation for my MVPs, not for you, but thank you. What's good, family? What up, Jerry? What's your take on DJ Harvey since he left Virginia Tech for SJSU? Where's number 2 on defense? Yeah, my take is he's playing well. Like, he's fine. Congratulations. Going to the Mountain West from the ACC is probably a smart decision. That's my take. Leaving the Power 5, going to Group of 5 pays off for you in the end. I hope he enjoys San Jose State for what it is. Remember when Oregon was too much last year and quote-unquote shit the bed? Cole Spencer, I have a hard time forgetting anything. I have a really good memory. So if you're saying remember anything, the answer is yes. I remember better than everyone. Just join the VIP. Let's effing go. Let's go. Shout out to you, Damien. J2-B says, just looking around the Pac-12, would you agree that Colorado has the hardest schedule remaining? I haven't looked at the hardest schedule remaining. Maybe even the toughest schedule in all of college football. No, J2-B, I think the hardest schedule remaining, I looked at the other day, was probably Oregon. Oregon's got a tough schedule. Or was it USC and Washington? One of them. They all got to play each other. So it's pretty loaded. Hey, Rico, Michael Harrison with Colorado. Will he keep getting production? Well, Brent, people watch film. And if you're leaving the tight end wide open, hopefully somebody's going to cover him and jump on that. So he's going to still be productive as they get more rapport and trust with one another. But I'd imagine they're going to take away that receiving option when given a chance. The other receivers are so good that they were getting double coverage, and he's getting single coverage. He's finding gaps in the zone. It's understanding how to manipulate zone coverage. Linebackers not getting back to hook to curl. It's just they don't know their responsibilities. The play action is getting them to bite, or the RPO. And it pays off in the end. That's what you're looking for. It's a good scheme. It's a good scheme by Sean Lewis for Colorado, so shout out to him. But, yeah, thank you for the question, Brent. Welcome to the MVP package, Nick Green. Congratulations, brother. Rico number 1. Thank you, Space. Appreciate you. Bro, I cannot find how to become a member. Devin Cerrero. It's pretty simple. Everybody's doing it. All you do is go to the homepage and hit join. If you're doing it on your iPhone, you won't see the join button. Got to use other things. Desktop, Android. Use Safari Web Explorer, web browser. Go to Rico Knows on TikTok. The link is there. Click on the link on my homepage. It'll take you to it, and it'll hit join. It's that easy. Not that hard. Rico, can you tell me the top 7 teams in the Pac-12 in order? Seems like this is the best conference this year. Yeah, USC, Washington, Oregon State, UCLA, Utah, Washington State. How many is that? And then Colorado. Kathy's throwing up. Welcome to the MVP package. Shout out Joseph Bray. Kathy, your money attracts gold diggers who don't even want to know how to cook without spending a lot of money. Congratulations, intelligent man. So if you guys didn't know, Kathy is actually a foreigner from Brazil pretending to be one of us. I already know who this is just by the way they talk. It's embarrassing. They don't know English. This is one of those scammer victim people. You need to go get a life, Kathy. Do yourself a favor. Step off. Where's the... let's do that. We won't see Kathy anymore. Rico, thoughts on A&M versus Auburn? That is not a Pac-12 game. You're on the wrong day, Daniel Perez. New MVP, pumped. Thank you for all that you do to the crew. Been new, though. Do we get videos or are there special lives I need to tune into? It doesn't matter. If there's special lives, they would be under live stream. You don't ever have to tune into a live, Joseph Kidder. You don't ever have to tune into a live unless you want to. Lives are always posted forever on YouTube. You just go to YouTube. Instead of clicking on the video tab, click on the live tab, and you'll see all the different live streams. You can go back and watch them all. But as far as content goes, go to the MVP playlist. There's a ton of videos in there for MVPs. Just watch all the Week 4 data. Take your notes. That's what I'd recommend you do. Take notes and screenshots of the screen. Braylon Allen going for 100 tonight. There you go. Rico, who has the most picks? Sterling J, what do you mean? The most interceptions? I don't know what you mean. You can Google that, bro. Kim, MVP, if you have an iPhone, there you go. Thank you so much, Kim, for trying to break it down. Let me scroll back up. Chat just jumped. Chat just jumped. Bruh. People are crying. How did you learn so much about college football in the process? Thomas Tommaso Giantamo. Hey, Thomas Giant Tomato. So when I was a young kid, story time. When I was a young kid, I owned a lot of football cards and baseball cards. And on the back of those cards were like everybody's statistical information and their height and weight and their college and their hometown. It had all this information on the back of them. And I remember I got grounded. I used to fight a lot as a kid. I used to go to school and fight a lot. And we'd get suspended from school. So if we got suspended from school, my dad would ground us. And I say us, my twin brother and I. We'd have to go to our room. And in our room, we had boxes and boxes of cards. And back then, you could buy like a whole box of Pro Set cards for $18, if I remember correctly. And he would buy all these cards. My dad would buy us like a box. And we didn't know the cards were worth anything. We'd just open them up. I remember having like 20 Emmitt Smith rookie cards. But we would just open them up and just go through all the cards. And I don't know. We played with them and we memorized them. And I'm like, who's this Blair Thomas and Percy Snow, Christian Okoye and Bobby Humphrey? Like, it's all 1988, 89 time frame with these cards. And we also had basketball cards and baseball cards. And then we just started memorizing the stats on the back. And we started quizzing each other about them, my twin brother and I. We're grounded forever. And all we have is an alarm clock radio where we can listen to, like, oldies radio music, like Rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet-a-litty, right? Duke of Earl. Or we're listening to Art LeBeau's greatest hits and all this shit. We're listening to a bunch of oldies music. And we're just these little 7, 8-year-olds. We're just these little kids. But we started doing math. And we didn't know it was math. We were, like, adding up all the RBIs on players, and we were trying to memorize who had the best season. We were like, who's Rod Carew? Who's Don Mattingly? Who's Wade Boggs? Who's Kirby Puckett? Tony Gwynn? We were just learning all their stats, and we were just retaining it all. And it never stopped. We started getting all – we'd go to school, and there was, like, reference books in the library, and it would be like, these books you can't check out. And it would be like almanacs, Guinness Book of World Records. And we would steal them. We would steal them from the library and keep them all summer. And while we were grounded all summer, we would just read them all. Just read them all, study them all, get every fun fact there ever was. And then we'd walk out of there and be like, all right, I know Albert Bell stole 80 bases in 120 games. And I know Tim Raines stole 435 bases in this. Like, we just started retaining everything. And I never stopped. I became a statistician. I became what we call an agate clerk. It's the people who do box scores in newspapers. I would format the box scores at a newspaper when I was 18 years old. That was my first job. It's $8 an hour. I'm at a newspaper, and they're just giving me box scores. They come across the wire in this weird text, and I would have to format them and do all this fancy stuff and put them in the paper. And then my sports editor would be like, all right, Rico, we need fantasy football fans need, and this is like 2000. So fantasy baseball fans would be reading the paper the next morning for the results of the games because you didn't have smartphones. People had internet, but it wasn't like everybody had it. You wouldn't go on there for your updates on sports. You would read the paper the next morning. So I would have to do all these box scores, and then I would have to I would put like league leaders in there. So league home run hitters and stolen base leaders and RBI hitters and best ERA, best whip. I would do all this stuff for the fantasy baseball fans, I'm sorry. And as I was putting this in the paper, I'm retaining it all. One night, somebody gets in a car accident. I don't want to go into long detail about it, but the point is I become a sports writer. And I start covering prep sports. I start covering high school football games. And I become a sports writer at 19 years old with no journalism degree. I don't want to say it's dumb luck and sure luck. I have the ability to write. I have the ability to be articulate with my voice. And I know what's going on. I'm educated. And I just know sports, right? I was a high school athlete. I played 3 sports every year. I was a tri-sport athlete. And I was getting ready to do this thing. Like I was going to go play my college football years. I was waiting on my girlfriend. She was a year younger than me. She was going to UCR, University of California, Riverside, to go play basketball. And I was waiting on her, and I'm like, I'm going to go play at Cal State Northridge, my bad. And at the last second, I just said, I'm going to go join the Army. And I joined the Army. I've been doing that for the last 20 years. But the whole time, I've been this like savant when it comes to statistical information and retaining it all and understanding it. Now, for 10 years of that, my father was a football coach, so I'm the son of a football coach. I played football my whole life. I know football really well, like really, really well. So I feel really comfortable assessing things and breaking things down. But I've always just had this gift to retain information and apply it in a very unique way. And oftentimes I'll be with Kim and she'll hear some of my ideas and she'll just be like, wow, that's like $1 million idea. I don't have the $1 million backing, but the mindset is there. And as long as, like, inventors invented like 100 things before they invented the one thing that you know them for, right? I am doing things like today. Like just yesterday, I got my first video ever with over 1 million views. Yesterday, I got my first video over 1 million views. And it's a bullshit gossip video about Will Levis and his girlfriend breaking up, right? 1.1 million views. And I don't want to be the TMZ of sports, but I understand algorithms and getting new eyes on my content. But I feel like I have better videos than that should have had 1 million views, and they didn't. I have so many good videos in Storytime. My Storytime playlist has so many great videos that I took time to put in and make it work. So when you ask me how did I learn so much about college football in the process, I've been around it my whole life. I've been immersed in it. And I work at this thing for 19 hours a day, guys. I really do. I'm working really hard to be somebody. And I want to have the leverage. I learned this from Russ. Shout out to Russell Vitale. Russ, the singer, the musician. If you don't know Russ, that's fine. But Russ had 2 songs go platinum before he ever signed a record label. Because when he went to the record labels, Russ had already a following. He already had songs selling on iTunes. He already had this huge organic fan base that when he walked into the record label, they didn't have leverage on him. He had leverage over them. They needed him. He didn't need them. They wanted him because he was bigger than what they were capable of putting out there. And Russ ended up being on Forbes' list in 2016, and Russ is a millionaire today, and everything's fine, and you probably still don't know him because he's not on the radio. But I want to tell you guys that I intend to be just as successful. Like, individually, I can't be stopped. I don't need a co-host. I don't need any backing whatsoever. I don't need any advertisement. I'm not on Instagram. I'm never begging for likes, clicks, and shares, and I don't do none of that shit. I just talk and let the content speak for itself. But the same guy you see talking right now in front of 300 people every day, 400 people, and I get 2,000 views on this or that on my live streams, I was doing this with 20 people in the room. I was talking like this with 30 people in the room because I just felt like I had it, right? The amount of knowledge I have, it's all there. I'm sitting in Chick-fil-A today, and I look at Kim, and I'm like, oh, I need to make a video right now. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't need to Google anything. It's all up here. It's just there. So it's special, and one day it'll be noticed. But right now I feel like a lot of people in the industry are insecure about it. They're insecure about what I do and how I do it. They really are. That's the reality of the situation. Because remember, that podcast where those guys were talking, and the dude's like, I've been doing this for 78,000 hours. And that guy, Rico Knows, he ain't got 0 hours. He ain't done this job. And it's like, listen, dude, I've been working for the NSA. I've been a cyber expert for the last 20 years. If I ever choose to change my profession, I instantly become better than you at it. That's the reality of the situation. If I apply myself to that job, think about it. There's a woman out there who is the best manager at Burger King right now. There's a woman out there or a man that is the best manager at Burger King. But the day I want to be a manager at Burger King, she's now the second best manager at Burger King because I'm better than her. We're not all created equal. That's my mindset. So you got to understand when you apply that to sports, I'm in that dog-eat-dog world, and I don't think I can be beat by anybody. I've told you guys this every day. There ain't anybody that can sit here and go bar for bar with me in the world of football. Like, there's nobody. College football, there's not a soul. Not Joel Klatt. There's nobody. Nobody can sit here and talk college football with me bar for bar. Not losing to anybody. And anybody who thinks that I'm capping and I can't be beat and all this stuff, they are not in my same wavelength. They're not on my same wavelength. They're not built like me. They didn't wake up this morning and looked at themselves and said, man, you're fucking amazing. Because I did. It's my biggest month ever, bro. And guess what? This is my biggest month ever. Financially, this is my biggest month in my entire life. And I want to tell you guys this. 3 months from now, this won't be shit. 3 months from now, I'm going to dominate this. 3 months from now, this is nothing. And that's how I feel. Nobody needs to gas me. I'm gassing myself. Do you still think Colorado is still only a 7-win team? Benny, that is correct. I still think Colorado is a 7. It's not only. Don't say only. Being a 7-win team is a great thing. You make a ton of revenue for your university if you won 7 games. You got 20 extra practice hours because you went to a bowl game. And you got your school and university extra revenue because you qualified for a bowl game. Yeah, 7 wins is huge. If you don't make a bowl game, you lose all that extra practice time. You can't have that. Who will do better in the ACC, Cal or Stanford? I believe Stanford's more poised to do better there, Jerry, personally. Colorado stuns Oregon tomorrow. Shout out to you. Thank you, Kim. Shout out to you, Devin. I hope you figured it out. Do you think the starting center for Colorado will make a difference if he's back tomorrow? So Wells is back tomorrow, from what I understand, and I think Wells makes a difference at center, yes. Shout out to you, Nelio. Oregon or Colorado? It's an MVP conversation. Dylan Howard, welcome to the show. You're an MVP. Congratulations. Devin, you're welcome. What do you think about TJ Finley? He's not in the Mountain West, and he's not in the Pac-12. Thank you for asking that question. You missed it. I talked about Sun Belt yesterday, and you probably should have asked yesterday. Thank you for being here, Peyton Gregory. I talk about each conference once a day, or one conference every one day out of the week. Find out which day you're supposed to be here for. Ask the question. Hell yeah, Wells is going to make a difference. There you go, Legal Hustle King. How do I become a member? J Stag, following the instructions. Puka would definitely be playing if Cup wasn't hurt. Here we go. J Stag just showed up, and then he just started saying crazy stuff. Rico, can you put your box in the upper right-hand corner? This corner. You want my box in the upper right? Am I messing up the chat? Am I messing up the ticker? I apologize. I guess it makes sense to be in the upper right corner. How about that? Let me know if that works for you, Cover to Harmony. When you make your picks, do you take the weather into consideration? Keep up the amazing work. Kobe Meyer, I do not. I might take the weather into consideration if I'm thinking about the under and later in the season, but definitely not this weekend. No. Thank you for asking, though. Random question. What up, Handem Huss? Do you think college football can ever have bracket play like they do in basketball? I would really hope so. I would really hope so, Handsome Huss. I wish. Adam Hurley, Colorado's defense is underrated, and they only gave up 21 points in regulation last week. Colorado State scored a defensive touchdown. Colorado has 10 takeaways already. There you go. Brennan Armstrong, over 34.5 rushing. Ian O'Brien, it's a conversation worth having. I think the over is in play there. I don't know if I like it because sacks count against your rushing yards, and I feel like Armstrong's going to get sacked. But he does tend to run more than other quarterbacks. It'd be fun. If there's anything you're going to bet on that game, the Virginia game, North Carolina State game, it's going to be that. What I would tell you, though, is if you think Virginia's going to be behind in this game, they're going to pass the ball a lot more than they run, right? Because you got to pass to catch back up. So are they going to be doing run plays or pass plays? Figure that out. Rico, how do you think running and track can affect skill position productivity on the field? So, David, I don't think it really does outside of staying in shape in the offseason, working on some of your form. Now, I ran track, and everybody always said it was going to help with my football speed. I don't think it ever really did. It's just something we say. It's just to stay active. And I also think it's better for you than playing baseball, right? In the spring in high school, you got two options, track or baseball. And I feel like if you're playing baseball, that's not going to help improve you at all. Where with track, you can at least do sprints, but not everybody doing track is sprinting. Some are throwers, some are jumpers, which might be helpful depending on your position. But I think it's a little over-exaggerated, the impact of being a track athlete in the offseason of your football. It's like, hey, it's going to help with your speed. Are you really working on your speed? Are you working on how to come out of blocks, which has nothing to do with the NFL? Shout out to JTag, sir. Welcome to being an MVP. Colorado by 2 touchdowns. Oregon's inflated stats on trash teams on both sides of the ball. They haven't been tested till Colorado. We coming. There you go. There you go. Rico is too real for ESPN. Shout out to you, Legal Hustle King. I can see you doing some type of deal with Barstool Sports. Miguel Martinez, the majority of Barstool Sports deals are, a good old boy network of friends that are all located in the same region. They're all near the office. They have very loud personalities. I don't necessarily know how well I coincide with that, but I can see myself being fine. Rico, stay independent, please. Shout out to you, Don Guap. Don't worry about it. Did you talk Colorado, Oregon? Only with MVPs will I do that. Robert Becker, shout out to you. MVP only. There you go. Rico, how's your day, man? Cam from Washington State and DJ from Oregon State, underrated quarterback match. What quarterback you taking to have the better game? Definitely Cam. Cam's a better quarterback. Not underrated by me at all. I love everything that Cam does. Cam Ward is a real quarterback, Washington State. I like what he's doing. He's got good weapons, too. I can help you look like the networks, starting with graphics. Cover to Harmony, it's impossible to do that from here. I'm using my own OBS for my desktop. If you can talk to me how you're going to set up my studio from here, I would love to know. I would love to know how you can do that from a distance. If it can be done remotely, and I'm ignorant in this regard, let me know, brother. If there's some way to do it, please reach out in a DM on TikTok. MVP, up 2K off free picks, just MVP. Shout out to you, Robert Becker. This man is up $2,000 off free picks. I'm not up $2,000 off free picks. I appreciate you. KGZ, MVP, congratulations. Do you think NIL is the reason for more parity in college football? No, I think NIL has nothing to do with it. NIL has not impacted the parity of college football. What's impacted the parity of college football is reality, right? And the reality is if you start letting other teams play and prove it, they will win. And they haven't done that for so long, and they've only allowed certain teams to play for something, and that's just the way it's happening. The other thing that's the parity is the transfer portal. Don't confuse NIL and transfer portal. Transfer portal is much more impactful than NIL. Peyton, he goes in order. Thank you. Trey Whitmore, MVP, what up? Yeah, these kids can't see the old chat. They don't know what we're doing here. Alton McCaskill going to play for Colorado for the first time tomorrow. He had 16 rushing touchdowns for Houston last year. Shout out to you. I already went over that. What about Cormani? Is he for real? Cormani is for real going to be on the bench. He's not better than anybody on the team. That's plain. That's just how it works when you're a freshman. I want to join MVP, but sports betting is banned in my state. Is there any way around? Don't ask me, Dre. I do not cheat and break laws. Rick, who your favorite coach in college? The name is Rico. I think autocorrect got you. And my favorite coach in college is probably Lane Kiffin. If I'm being real, I really like Lane Kiffin as a coach, but I like Lincoln Riley. I like Brom. I like a lot of coaches, guys. G.J. Kinney, Coach Prime. I like a lot of coaches. I'm on my way to the Hard Rock in Miami. I need a pick, Rico. Should I just go with Burke's touchdown, Rico? Carlos, do what you do, man. Congratulations. Ralik isn't big enough. He's fast enough. He ain't got to be that big. Shout out to Noah, another MVP. Sorry, guys. We do have a game tonight. We do have to cut the show short. We have a football game starting at 7. Just so you guys know, I will be live streaming it. That's why we started the show 30 minutes early. Sign up for MVP. You can see all his picks. He has around 10 MVP picks for tomorrow, plus dozens of leans. There you go. How do you sign up for MVP? Pay attention to everything that everybody's saying. Give me a second here. The chat just jumped on me. Give me a second. How many push-ups do you do? There we go. Give me a second, guys. I apologize. Everybody sit tight.
I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green.
When they come, and they will, they'll come for you.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Oh, I thought the beast had won it off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat, concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion, talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive, talking reason for it, I got locomotives. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex and a friend's tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit, I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist, try not to change but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one time, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat-seeking missiles of hits, but other than me, I see no heat exists. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a Cold War, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature a rack. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, now the word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name. Saw it ahead of time, knew that I'd get to my losing myself in the view to some window pain. I swear I'm all about peace, I'm a positive person. Wasn't always like that, you know it took me some learning. They asked me how I push a positive light, how I keep my composure through internal fights when addressing the mic through these dark nights. Where the Bruce Wayne, what a trick be. Here's some truth that I'll let free, Bruce Banner of rap if you ask me. When my will to win and the track meet, the secret is I'm always angry. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a Cold War, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back.
Sorry about that. And we are back. So, where was I? Sign up for MVP. You can see all his picks. Yep, where do I sign up? Hopefully somebody tells you Jin Lee, or you can rewind the show. Talked about it many times. USC beating the brakes off of ASU tomorrow. Shout out to Tanner. Andrew says, what do you think about UCLA getting their own stadium near campus with a smaller capacity? The reason why I'm asking is that because when they play at the Rose Bowl, it's not even half full. Andrew, true story. I've actually played at the Rose Bowl. I've coached at the Rose Bowl. I've been to the Rose Bowl many times, or several times. It's a terrible stadium. The seating is bad. The seats are so far away. It's kind of like flat. The bowl isn't quite high. So you just feel like you're really far away from the field. It's terrible. It's dated. I don't like it. And I wish it was closer to campus for sure. I wish they had a better stadium. There's just no excuse for playing all the way at the Rose Bowl. It's dumb. It's dumb. NCAA committee recommended taking marijuana off the banned substance list. Miles Weber. Cool story. Until he comes back, do you think it will continue to be a battle for Hunter's spot, or will coach pick a person and that's it? Hunter, Travis Hunter. I think it's just a committee thing. They're going to pick whoever can play. Matchup-wise, I think it's a battle at practice every day. I don't think anybody's going to get that spot and then be given it and not earn it, that kind of thing. Shout out to the Fire, AP tuning in on YouTube. AP the Gamer, shout out to you. Wisconsin tonight. Rewind the show, I already talked about it. Yesterday I debated with my family about the Red River rivalry game, and I used your name in my argument. I asked them if they watch Rico Knows. They said no, so I said I do, and Rico Knows. Shout out to J to the B. Lose your family, bro. Stop talking to your family about sports. Your family doesn't know, but Rico knows. I don't even talk to my family about sports. I refuse to argue with them or debate with them. I just won't do it. They don't know what they're talking about 99% of the time. Rico, how many push-ups can you do in the Oregon Duck costume? Alec Gergson. So I'm a first sergeant. I've been a master sergeant in the Army for the last 20 years. I've been a first sergeant for the last 3 years. The one thing I can do better than probably any walking human being, 99% of them, is push-ups. I'm telling you that right now. I've done a ton of push-ups in my life. The organ duck costume is not something I want to wear, but I'm pretty sure I can do more push-ups than anybody who's put that costume on, and I can do them correctly. I am not joking. I can do 50 push-ups with no problem and just look at you like it ain't shit. I've been in the Army over 20 years. Like, I'm a real dude. I'm that guy. I don't lift weights, and I'm extremely muscular. It's all from push-ups and some pull-ups. Welcome, Fred. Fred, shout out to you, becoming a minion. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. You make my life possible. Thank you so much. I'll be at the Fresno game tomorrow. Let's go. Shout out to you, Tanner McKenzie. Enjoy the hell out of that. We're ever at Fort Carson. Was I ever at Fort Carson cover to Harmony? I have never been to Fort Carson. No, never been. Don't forget to hit that like button. Shout out to you, Hydra. We got 91 likes, 91 people watching. We got 100 people watching on TikTok. Shout out to them. Go Matadors. There you go. Dude, Rico is a stud. Stud muffin. Shout out to Fred. He just upgraded to MVP. Word. Shout out to Fred. Thank you very much. I worked in broadcasting, bro. You were on your game. Thank you so much, Cover to the Harmony. I appreciate you. I try my best. I think I'm better than anybody on TV, anybody on radio. I can do an hour easy. Give me my Sirius XM channel, and let's keep it moving. What's up, Rico? We got some good games this week. It's going to be hard to predict some of these games on ESPN Confidence Pick'em. Oh, him. I did all those last night. They look impossible. The Confidence Pick'em looks like whoever bats 1,000 on that is insane. If you guys don't know, we do have an ESPN Pick'em. I'll go up here and show you guys. Fantasy, college football Pick'em. We are the 8th largest group in the world, for those of you who don't know. If you look at the groups, go to look at Show All Groups on ESPN. You've got all the ESPN groups, and there's Rico Knows. We are 8th in the world, currently 1,938 entries in our group. We're only behind ESPN, ESPN-themed groups. We couldn't beat the network, but the network knows who the hell we are. You better know they know who we are. We did beat ESPN's streak, but nonetheless, our confidence group is huge. And when you go in here, everybody's doing their picks trying to beat me. A lot of guys are beating me. That's cool. But let me tell you, you get 55 points in a week, that means you got all the games right. There is no way you're going to get the games right this week. And I have one group here where I only pick the intentional upsets. If you're losing to this group, I don't know what to tell you. You're not good at this. I pick every underdog in this group no matter what. Every underdog in this group no matter what. And we're still 14-16. That should tell you something. But the rest of these groups, I'm experimenting, trying different things. But the guys out here are doing well. Shout out to them. I know my own twin brother's on this list somewhere. He's been doing well. I think he's in the 20s on the second page. But it's hard to be at the top. We got some really good guys. If you look, 153, even on the leaderboard, the highest points is 280. Oh, I'm confident here. There we go. 158's the highest. So our leader in our group, 153, is Southern Heat, 21. He's the second in the entire world. Second best in the entire world comes from the Rico Knows group. Shout out to you guys. He's right there. There's one guy beating him. That one guy beating him did a perfect week 2. So it's tough out here, y'all. It's tough. Good luck this week. It's not going to be easy. I wish everybody well on that. That's a real thing we're doing. All right. Shout out to you for the pick'em. Hi, what up, Mr. Doodle? If you took Joel Klatt's picks, I'd be homeless. That's why we ride Rico. Shout out to you. I'm telling you, Rico, let's fix that eye candy, and you will kill them. Cover to the Harmony. Send me a DM. Let me know. Yo, you got it, fam. Shout out to you. It's your biggest month because of Prime. Nilio, no, it's my biggest month because of me. Don't you ever forget that. No one else can take this away from me. I earned this. I really did. I believed in who I believed in. I made the decisions I made. It wasn't just Prime. It was me getting Duke right. It was me getting Texas State right. It is the way I present myself. It's what I do every day. No one can take this from me. Don't you ever forget that. Colton Suggs, what up, Rico? I'm watching from beginning right now. Just got to the initial Braylon Allen question. How mad does it make you when coaches stick to their system rather than using their roster's best? It's the worst thing in college football. So in the NFL, they stopped doing it. There's only 3 programs in the NFL right now, systems. Everybody else is learning to build around their talent and adjust to who they have, right? Except for the Patriots, the Seahawks. There's some systems out there. in college football, there are systems, and they try to plug certain players into their systems, and they shouldn't. So Phil Longo showing up to Wisconsin, he should have learned how to use a powerful back. He should have learned how to use his, what's the word? His, not just his resources, but his personnel, and he didn't. And he's in there trying to fit the Drake May template, and the Drake May template doesn't work with Tanner Mordecai. He's not Drake May. Russ is fire. Do it myself is a banger. Yeah. Do it myself. Yep. I do that shit every day. I don't need you. I don't need her. Fuck it. I'll do it myself every day. So are you taking UCLA or Washington State over Colorado? Benny Barella, what do you mean? They're not playing them. I take this week at a time. Rico, I don't like Ashton Daniels or Justin Lamson, and it's clear Troy Tyler doesn't like Ari Pato. Have you watched any of Miles Jackson or Elijah Brown at Mater Dei, who's coming next year? So, Jeffrey, I did a video about Elijah Brown and saying he's the best high school quarterback this year before he committed to Stanford. So, just so you know, I've watched a ton of Elijah Brown. He's been starting since Bryce Young left Mater Dei. So, he's been starting there for 4 years. I like Elijah Brown as a football player. I think he's a prize recruit, and I think he should be starting at Stanford next year. The rest of these guys, I like Lamson. You might not like him, but I like Lamson out of the 3 options they have. I like him. He's a tough kid. He's somewhat mobile. I just think he's a gamer, gunslinger. You might not like your team, though. Shout out to Jeff. If you guys don't remember, Jeffrey Okaba, we met him yesterday. This is the rich kid. His sister walked on there. His brother walked on there. He's got ties to everybody, and dad's a professor in a university. This man has a silver spoon, just so we're clear. What up, Eric Seguido? Good to see you again, though. Great question. Colton Surges made a mini vacation out of the Wisconsin-Wazoo game across the country, and Braylon Allen literally ran the ball once or twice between the tackles that game. Makes me sick. Exactly. Sorry, I know that wasn't all Pac-12. No, it's fine. It's Wazoo. Rico, how do you think the media will react to a Colorado win versus a loss? A Colorado win, they're going to lose their mind. Then they're going to start asking whether or not Colorado's real. Oregon's real. They're going to start asking, did Bo Nix blow it? What's wrong with them? All this shit. They're going to make excuses left and right. And then they're going to say, well, we can't really believe in them until they beat USC. They'll just keep moving the field goal posts. Doesn't matter if they win. If they lose, a lot of people are going to go, I told you so. Told you they ain't shit. But what I would like to see is their reaction when they see a competitive game. What can they say when this game comes down to the wire or the fourth quarter? What do you say then? What do you do then? Because even if they lose in that regard, now we don't have to wait till they play USC. Now we don't have to wait and see what's going to happen against a real team. Right? You got to respect them at some point. And that respect should have happened well before the season started. That's what's wrong with these idiots. It bugs me. What up, Nate Rosler? Welcome to being an MVP. Congratulations. Wrestling. I'm sorry, my nose is itching, guys. Predictions on the Boise State game. That's MVP data. Dawson Johns. I put a video out for my MVPs. Go watch it if you can. You can't watch it. Obviously, you're not an MVP, but congratulations. Hey, Rico, not sure if you talked about it, but is Kenny Dillingham in over his head? No, he's not in over his head, Jackson Polk. He's at the mercy of his quarterback. His quarterback has never played in college football before, and he got hurt. So you're using Rashada, trying to do good, and Rashada's not good. Rashada's not as good as they had hoped. They thought he was, but he's not. They're letting him start because they don't want him to transfer after this year, so they let him start. Rashada doesn't want to be there. He's only there because it's his dad's alma mater. He did not like Kenny Dillingham coming out of high school. If you remember, Oregon was not a finalist for him because Kenny Dillingham was his lead recruiter. But it wasn't until everything fell through at Florida, he had to find somewhere near home and as fast as he could, and then he ended up at Arizona State. If he really liked Kenny Dillingham, Oregon would have been a finalist when he was the offensive coordinator over there, and he wasn't. So I don't like the relationship there. I don't think it's going well, and unfortunately for him, Kenny Dillingham can't help it from there, right? So you got to rebuild the culture. You got to win in recruiting. Kenny Dillingham is not in over his head. He's doing fine. The team sucks. The team is not doing well, but he's still a good coach. He might just be an amazing offensive coordinator and not a great head coach, but he's still a good coach. He's very young. Got to give guys chances. Like, you guys just got to give shit time to grow. You just got to give it time to do things, man. It can't just happen overnight. Not everybody's Coach Prime. Not everybody has Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. Not everybody, it just doesn't work that way. Not everybody has that chemistry. Nobody has Sean Lewis showing up to coach your offense. You know what kind of luck you have or resources you have to get Sean Lewis, a head coach from a group of 5, to show up and help you? Like, that's crazy. Kenny Dillingham don't have no group of 5 head coaches showing up to do his offense. It's him. It's a big difference. He's not over his head. Might be an MVP question, but if Colorado loses, how do you think the media will flip on Deion? It's not an MVP question. It's just the media's not flipping on Deion. The media is who the media is, man. They're bums. Shout out to Omar Sotelo, an MVP. Congratulations. Love being able to support someone who serves 68 whiskey. 68 whiskey. Checking in for the locks. There you go. 68 whiskey. Light wheel mechanic. Am I right? Light wheel mechanic. Shout out to Shandrika Smith, or is that a mechanic? That sounds like a mechanic to me. 68 whiskey. I could be wrong. Good call, Coach. Can't wait for Saturday. There you go. Blunts Over Paper podcast. One of my former players. Shout out to you, DJ, doing your thing. MVP package, UT Will. There you go. DJ Kenny is a dog. Uh-oh. Things went wrong. Chat jump. Be patient. DJ Kenny is a dog of a coach. All right, there you go, Peyton. I appreciate you. Best running back in the Pac-12. Damian Martinez sounds good. Marshawn Lloyd sounds good. Bucky Irving is probably the right answer. So let me go with Bucky Irving as the answer. Quinton Jackson is great, probably in that conversation. There's so many good running backs in the Pac-12. They're not all great, but there's good ones all over the place. Those are a few that I think are at the upper echelon for sure, if you ask me. What does San Jose State need to do to turn things around? They don't need to turn anything around, Jerry. They've just been playing stud-ass teams. They're good. Don't get it twisted. San Jose State's a good team. They don't need to turn anything around. They're going to win 7 games sooner or later. Don't stress it. Rico will return a second. Abstract. Hey, shout out to you for knowing it's abstract. Rico, I took the Georgia State team over last night. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Sky. I'm glad you got the memo. Steve Powell became an MVP. Congratulations. That's pretty awesome, you guys. Your call on Georgia State. Fire. Thank you so much. I try my best. I'm stupid. How do I get into MVP? Chumley, you can rewind the show. I've talked about it at length. All you got to do is hit join on the homepage of YouTube. Get there without using the YouTube app on your iPhone. Hey, Rico, two-parter. David Shaw and Troy Taylor have talked about how NIL has ruined Stanford, but I think there's a huge avenue in Silicon Valley using NIL. So, Jeff, no, you got this so confused. You guys got this so confused. If I'm a player, I'm trying to get in on the ground floor and some billionaire tech company, that has nothing to do with it. NIL has nothing to do with what ruined Stanford. Okay? Stanford does not allow transfers. They don't allow undergraduate transfers. The only guys they were allowed to get were Gavin Bernadal from FIU. That was the very first undergraduate transfer in school history this year. And he's leading the team in tackles. But other than that, all the other transfers were from Ivy League schools. Stanford does not care about football. Stanford said they're not going to lower their academic standards. They're not going to allow transfers. You got to be a graduate transfer at best, and they're still not going to let you in. So now all you can get is these Ivy League kids coming over from Princeton, Harvard, and what are you supposed to do with that? So what David Shaw saw was, hey, man, I'm doing well in recruiting. I'm comparable to the rest of the Pac-12 in recruiting, but in my recruiting misses, I can't go and sign anyone from the transfer portal to address my misses. And then at the same time, USC can win 4 games, go hire Lincoln Riley, and have a damn Heisman Trophy winner and a Biletnikoff winner transfer in. How do I keep up with that? Who's winning the conference now? USC? Who's at the top? Washington? How'd they get there? Oh, they got this guy, Michael Penix Jr. Where'd he come from? Indiana? Oh, he's a transfer? Bo Nix, he's a transfer? What are we doing? I can't keep up with these schools. And that's why David Shaw rolled out. Troy Taylor's going to have the same problem. You can't transfer in. You can't. Thoughts on Kansas versus BYU? That's an MVP question. What up, Rico? What up? What up, Jake New? I have an iPhone. I click the link on TikTok and then join on the right side. It's that easy, Jake New. I don't understand why they can't do it. Jake New just hit it on the head. You go to TikTok, you click the link. On the right-hand side, it says join, 4 letters, and it's that fast. Shout out to Chumley for becoming a minion. Shout out to Cam for getting that MVP package. Congratulations, Cam. Rico, I put the house and my kids' college fund on the Boilers money line. How effed am I? Alec, you say this every day. You might just have something wrong with you, bro. I'm 14-6. Started a week late. Didn't know about the group week 1, unfortunately. It's all right, J to the B. You're all right. 14-6. You're winning. You can't be mad. Yo, what up? Go, dogs. MVP, Joe Mahavik. Joe, MVP. Rico, are you streaming Virginia game tonight? No, probably not, Hudson. I think I'm doing Purdue, Wisconsin. How do we get in the MVP group? Joseph, you just got the answer right there from Kim. Unknown Ghost just became an MVP. Congratulations. Hi, Rico. What up, CC? What USC transfer has impressed you the most so far this year? Dylan Flanders. It's got to be like Bear Bryant or like one of the defensive linemen, Mason Cobbett, linebacker. It's got to be one of these guys on defense. I'm not worried about the offense. It's one of the defenders who joined. And you can pick one. They're all pretty good. I like them all. Roland Christian, Wallace, the corner. Like just a bunch of people, man. It's just a huge upgrade. Chumley just became an MVP. He asked and it happened. Chumley figured it out. Rico, it's all love, but I'm not rich. I got $70K in student debt. Oh, man. Don't step over here, bro. Don't step over here. Don't ask me for shit. And I'm paying it off myself. I need to get an NIL deal. I hear you. I like Purdue tonight, Coach. What do you think? I think you like Purdue tonight. Congratulations. Rico, I love Braylon Allen today. How do you think he'll do today? I hope he gets the lion's share of the carries. I hope he gets a lot of carries, and I hope Purdue is ready to stop a powerful running back. I don't necessarily know if they're going to get down like that. I like Hudson Card a lot. Purdue's defense, being coached by Ryan Walters as the former defense coordinator of Illinois, they know how to stop Wisconsin. They're not new to this. They know how to stop Wisconsin. Phil Longo's not doing well with what he's doing. I feel like it's going to be a slugfight, bro. But they might be going blow for blow. I know Purdue's going to score at least 14 points. I know that. They're good for 2 touchdowns every game. Thoughts on Air Force versus San Jose? Air Force is a very good football team. Nobody's paying attention to it, but Air Force is mean, bro. Air Force is mean, guys. Air Force won their bowl game over Baylor huge last year. They beat the crap out of teams. Any group of 5 locks. A ton of them. You don't know. Love the content, my guy. Shout out to you, Fletch. Does Cal's defense slow down Washington? No. Cal's got a great secondary. I don't know if they slow down Washington's Michael Penix Jr. I don't know. I don't know if they're that good. I haven't seen anybody slow them down, so when would I see it? But Rico knows. What up, Rick? Another day of awesome content. Keep it rolling. Thank you, Ricky Rick. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. So, Rico, let's say you're Troy Taylor, and you have an unlimited timeline to fix Stanford's program with the same transfer rules that they know. What do you do, or is it impossible? With the current transfer portal the way it is, I believe Stanford's going to have a difficult time being competitive. They're in the ACC, so they're going to have that appeal and allure of being in a different conference, not the Big Ten. So there's going to be some appeal there. It is Stanford. They're a great academic institution, so people will want to go there just for the degree alone. But you can't miss in recruiting. Troy Taylor's going to have to develop players and assess them accurately and not lose them. I think he's a good coach. I think he knows what he's doing. It's the ACC. They're not playing against the Pac-12 anymore, so they got a shot. It's going to be a little easier. Are you a believer in Howell? I mean, I believe he starts in the NFL. Is Maryland a top 25 where they – you know what? They're very close by TV. They're very close. We'll see what they can do this week against Michigan State. If they win pretty big, I'd imagine they start getting a lot of votes at that point. San Jose State covering +7. These sound like really bad things to talk about. You guys got to stop trying to bet on every game. Boise State going under 47. These are MVP conversations. Where can I find the MVP videos? There is something, but I'm not sure if there's the same thing as being an MVP. Yeah. So if you're on YouTube, Hito, all you got to do is go to the MVP playlist. There's a bunch of playlists. Go to my homepage, click playlists, and there's one called MVP Locks. Go watch that. And after you watch that, there's also another one called Game Reviews and Breakdowns. Watch those. You should be fine. Just look for anything that says Week 4. Cam Rising beating UCLA. Okay. Shout out to you, Tyler. What's your record in the ESPN Confidence Pick'em? Currently 15-5. I missed Week 2. This week I'm going to be tough. Okay. So my current record isn't very good. What do we got? I'm 21-9 on one of mine, but I got two of them at 14-6, 15-15, 19-11. So, I'm doing okay. I'm experimenting a little bit, trying to make up points because it's confidence. So I'm trying to pick games that like nobody else will be confident in and making them 10s. It's not working out. The end of the day, it doesn't matter what you rank them. You got to get them right. Somebody out there is getting them all right. Our group's so big, somebody's getting them all right. Shout out to Larissa Waldriff for becoming an MVP. Larissa's out here. She's about to make some money for herself. Do you think a win by Colorado moves them up in the rank more or moves Oregon down in the rank more? The answer is yes to both. Rutgers is winning tomorrow. Book it. Shout out to you, Ian. I hope you're not missing after they don't win. Rico, how do you feeling about Duke? MVP conversation for sure. Do you think Dante Moore could end the season as a top 5 Pac-12 quarterback? He could, Bobby Albright, if he wins some of these games. He looks very good. Bobby. That's a good question, but I think he's up there. Top 5 is insane, though. Top 7 is realistic, but top 5, man, there's really good quarterbacks in the Pac-12. Like, you're not even – there's 3 of them that just – I don't know. I don't know what you guys are doing. Crazy to think Nate Johnson is having this type of production as a freshman. No, it is not, David. There are better freshmen with better production. Nate Johnson is having terrible production. He's running the ball a little bit. He's having terrible production. Do you think Cam Rising is starting playing against UCLA? I don't know. If he does, it doesn't really matter to me. UCLA beat them last year with Cam Rising. Rico, how do you see Bryce Young playing out for the Panthers if he's not the guy? What's next? What's next is a lot of losing. That's how I see it going. There's a lot of losing there. Can't give me a lean, but can you give out my Braden Bennett underplay? But can give out my Braden Bennett underplay. Oh, is that your play? Is that what you call that a play when you ask me a question? When you ask me a question and I give you an answer, that's what you call a play? You asked me a question, I answered it, and that's your play? That's fucking hilarious, dude. Thanks for being here. Just got here. Do we know if McCaskill's playing? We don't necessarily know. Meet Ride Pac-12 Mondays. If Purdue can hold up and pass pro, they have a legit shot to beat Wisco. There you go. Yo, like the under in the Wisconsin game. Do you like the NC State? Man, you guys are just asking me the same stuff. Remember, your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.
When they come, and they will, they'll come for you.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Oh, I thought the beast had won it off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat, concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion, talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive, talking reason for it, I got locomotives. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex and a friend's tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit, I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist, try not to change but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one sign, but I'm down for a free lunch.